Hello.
evening.
Hello.
This is Guy.
It's evening here anyway.
That's Paul. Yeah, and it's a lovely evening in Jamaica. The sun.
We're still in Jamaica,
has
for fuck's
just
sake.
set. The sun has just set. It's early spring here, so the birds are tweeting around the garden and nesting. And we saw a beautiful hummingbird today.
Yeah.
And
Oh, sorry, I made a crunching noise. I do like a hummingbird. I like any bird, actually.
yeah, no, Paul's a bit of a bird watcher. And
No, I wouldn't
do you remember? Of course, you notice them, Paul.
I'm more of a
And you
bird
really
enjoyer.
appreciate them.
I'm a
No,
bird.
there is something else you do to birds, Paul.
What?
You fucking talk to them. You whistle at them. He's got such a good ear, Paul, that he can pick up their song and return it back to them. He found it doing it on his own. It's a solitary pleasure. Paul
You're
partakes in.
embarrassing me.
I do, and I heard you talking. I heard you talking to a pigeon. That was the first one, and then you were flirting with some little songbird earlier this morning. I heard you out the back. Do it, go on.
No, I can't do
Go
it
on.
now. No, I can't.
All right.
There's a pigeon here that
It
goes.
was
that
bloody
does that,
convincing.
There's a pigeon here that does that thing that goes. What does he do? He's got his little tune. Woo 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 woo. It's really funny. I was thinking.
Sounds like the backing singers, the sympathy for the devil.
Well, it does a bit, and I was thinking that a lot of song might have come from birds, actually, even originally with humans. I bet they were copying birds and the sounds they made, and the animals and the sounds they made. Anyway, yeah, I do love birds. I've had some funny things happen to me with
What
birds.
animal was status quo copying?
And, well,
You can
then
hear them now. Can you hear the birds now?
that was a bit later on. Status quo.
Right.
They were the British Ramones, Guy.
Yeah, I know. Anyway, you are really good. You're really good with them, and of course, the birds of the West Indies were really appreciated by the tourists who came out from Europe, because I think they must have seen loads of new birds, but I guess they saw migrating birds too. Do some birds migrate over the Atlantic?
Sure, yeah.
They do. So it's like they've got like a main home and a summer home, they're like us,
Yeah.
you know, and they've got their place.
I don't know if they go over the Atlantic,
They've got
but
their
they
place
go
in the
north to
Caribbean.
south, don't they? And
Right,
back
yeah,
again.
they go down. They've got their place in Africa.
Yeah,
They
they
go
need
down
stopping
over the
points. They can't fly that far, I don't
That's
think.
what I thought too. So in fact,
Yeah.
none of these birds do appear in Europe.
I don't know, you know.
But the great birds of the Caribbean, we've had this, haven't we?
Have we?
Was written by James Bond.
Yeah, we've done that already.
Okay.
Stop repeating yourself, Guy.
Yeah, I quite like just going back over it. For those who weren't paying attention, anyway, it's a lovely quiet night. The creek is very quiet. The cove is quiet. The sea is amazingly calm and
It's
reassuring.
humid.
Reassuring. It's not that humid. Well, it's humid.
Well, it's more humid than it is in London.
Yeah, but it is in Caution.
Yes.
And it's so reassuring and fecund. It's spring here. The heavy rain has fell yesterday, and I can feel all of the leaves unfurling everywhere and sap rising in the trees.
Little hummingbird today over there.
Yeah,
I liked that.
it's really good. And my nephew Ed speared yet another fish.
Yeah, and we had it for lunch.
We had it for lunch. It was he curried it. He brought it back. It was one of
Well,
the
he didn't
ugliest
curry
things
it.
I've ever seen. It looked
Yogi Dread curried it.
It looked like, what did it look like, Paul?
Like a leather handbag.
Like an ostrich handbag.
Yeah.
It looked like an ostrich handbag, and he cooked it. And
He didn't
and
cook
put-
it.
and
He
put-
didn't cook it. Yogi Dread
okay,
cooked it.
okay. And anyway, it was cooked with a lot of curry powder. And when it was served, I wondered whether or not they'd accidentally cooked the mask or the flipper, because it wasn't a delicacy, I'd say.
I don't know. I've got
But
a
still
little
it
bit
was
of meat
fresh.
and it was delicious.
It was like bits of strap in it,
most of it had
diving
just
mask in it.
disappeared into a mush, and then we were just left with the rubbery skin part. But it was a bizarre looking thing, and I don't know. I think they're just killing everything now. That's the thing, you know. They wouldn't have killed a thing like that a few years
I
ago.
don't think it would.
What the fuck?
It's called the soursap fish because it looks quite like a fruit they have here called soursap, which has got kind of big pustulely prickles on it.
Yeah.
And they...
Well, I've heard tell that dolphins enjoy the pufferfish as a way of getting high, and that what they'll do is they'll find one.
Because it was a puffer fish that we ate, wasn't it?
Yeah, and they all mob it, and then they throw it around like a balloon, like a football, and it prickles them. With its prickles, have got a toxin in it, a nerve toxin, and it makes them high. and that's why they do it.
Really?
Yep.
That's nice. They're
They
playful.
pass it around like a joint.
Right.
All the animals have their little ways of getting high, like Pabs and his catnip, and us and our ganji.
Yeah, I can't deal with the ganja. It's too much.
You were dealing with it all right last night.
Was I?
Yeah.
Was I smoking it?
You were right on the gunja last night, mate.
God. Did it change my personality?
Totally. You couldn't stop laughing.
Really? What, normally I can't start laughing.
Well, yeah, there is a bit of that.
That noise there is a fisherman, Byron, Cousins Cove's hardest working man, coming back from a day out fishing. It's quite nice that he's just coming in, and then he spends the whole evening cooking fish and then running the bar, which is really good. He's called Byron, but he has a second name. All Jamaicans have two names. Many have 3 or 4, and his other name is Shoppy. And what is really interesting is that there is another Byron in this village whose also his other name is Shoppy. And you would have thought they would have settled on a different second name, but no, they've got the same 2 names.
He's up the road, isn't he?
It's not that I don't know him actually. I've just heard about him. Beautiful. Can you hear the water? It's so lovely and calm. Satiny. The water is satiny. It's so smooth. Paul's not such a keen swimmer as I am. I like to hack right across the bay. Paul does a width.
The width of the inlet is enough for me.
It's pretty good though. He makes. What I have noticed is, what you lack in distance, you make up for in noise and splash.
Do I?
Yeah, you're very splashy. I thought someone was in trouble actually.
Guy, that's not very nice. You really are a horrible man sometimes.
No, I'm just saying.
People, what a vision that
Water
puts in
is
people's
not your
minds
natural element.
of me splashing over there. I could float for ages, actually, I'll have you know. I'm an excellent floater.
His little rectangular body and tiny thin arms.
What do you mean rectangular body and thin arms? Don't let's start describing bodies, Guy.
No, why? What have I to fear?
Because I could start on you as well.
Well, far away. What have I to fear with?
What
a
about
figure
your
like
belly?
mine? What do you mean?
Your belly, Guy?
Look at it now.
Stop sucking it in like
I'm
that.
not sucking it in.
Blow it out a bit. Let's have a look at it.
I'm not sucking it
Just
in.
get it out a bit. Let's have a look. Look at that.
Fuck off.
Bought and fucking paid for. Bought and paid for that, lad.
I'm trying to get it. I'm trying to get it down.
Give it a bit of a slap, Guy. Bought and paid for.
No, it's not like that. It's going down. It's going to be like. It's going to be like. It's not going to be like a
I
water.
tell you what, lasses love it.
washboard.
They love a bit. They love a bit. Something to cuddle, don't they, Guy? They love it.
Oh, shut up.
The lads love it. The lasses love it. Everyone loves it.
Anyway, we've had.
When's it due, Guy?
It's not like that, my talent.
Guy?
It's not.
Should we post a picture of it on the thing?
Yeah, okay. Tomorrow morning we'll
You're
take
gonna
a photo
suck it in and pretend
the
it's not
and
there.
the listeners can can
You
decide.
can't suck your belly in like that.
I'm not going.
It's fake, guys. It's
not
fake news.
It's called muscles.
It's fake.
It's called
muscles.
stomach muscles.
What is that then? Is that
It's
like
called stomach muscles? You
got
don't
that.
go around, with your sphincter loose.
I beg your pardon. Guy, what on earth is that?
Well,
What on earth was that? What the fuck are you on about? You can't say things like that.
But you know what I
It's
mean. There are
unseemly.
certain parts of the body that at rest are taught. Like my mind.
Well, that I'll tell you what. That's not one of them. Certain parts of the body which at rest are taught,
You know what I mean?
such as the anal sphincter. Dear God,
Exactly.
is this what we're reduced to? What the fuck are you on about?
Paul, you know what I mean.
Jesus wept.
You know what I mean.
Well, name another one then?
Say like the heart, it's pumping all the time when even
Well, it's
though
not at rest, is it? It's pumping.
Oh, don't catch me out. I don't like it when you catch me. I didn't know you were listening, Paul. To be honest,
am listening. I'm here.
I
I'm
didn't.
not in the room. I'm
oh
here.
my God, he would be listening on the one occasion when I say
On the one occasion.
something stupid.
Jeebus. Oh, well, regular listeners will know. So listen, I wanted to ask you something.
Shoot.
I was a bit. What about the rat in the pool? There was a little rat in the swimming pool the other day.
Yes. Yeah.
We're not going to talk
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah. No,
All right,
I don't
we'll strike that
talk
from
about it. It's
the-
a bit depressing.
Is that depressing?
Yeah.
Yeah, all right.
Well, you
then.
had to take it out and kill it. Okay, what do you want to talk about the rat in the pool?
I liked him.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
He had a nice little face.
Yeah, but you live in this sort of weird kind of
Cutesy wootsy world.
cutesy world. Yeah, it's a fucking
What's
rat.
wrong
You
with
don't
me? I
want a
never
rat
used to
running
be
around
like
your
that.
house.
It's happened as I got older, I've become very sentimental.
Yeah, that is bordering from being empathetic to sentimental. To worry about a rat. Catch a rat, you kill it. You don't want a rat running around your food.
No, it's true.
You don't want a rat running around your bed at night.
They're incompetent.
You want a rat. Catherine, my friend, told me that she had a rat in their house. It was really out of control. This was in Glastonbury. It's not hairspray.
The things are coming on me. I can feel them coming on me. Get off me, you fuckers.
What? Oh, yeah, there's one right there. There's one right
I
there.
told you.
This is one to you.
Black. Don't spray that on me. Guy, don't spray that. No. I've got one. Fucker. No wonder the fucking ozone layer's gone. No wonder the insect population is in decline.
If you don't want to be eaten. Anyway,
You're a pollutant.
she lived in a house. It was in Glastonbury.
What's he wobbling on about now?
It's quite good. This.
Blah, 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 blah.
It's quite good. This.
Go on then.
You'll like this. With
bet I
rats
do.
in it. They eventually had to tear the floorboards up to get to them. They were really infested. But she said she knew the problem was out of control when she woke up one night, and she could feel something stroking her hair, and it was a rat trying to pull her hair out to make for its net to use for its nest. A rat on her pillow. Yeah, right. And that is if you give them any quarter, Paul.
Yeah,
that is where
they
you
come
end
in.
up, and you don't want to. You cannot mess around.
Have you heard about king rat?
Movie, I believe.
No. What a king rat is.
What is
You know what a king rat is?
What?
They found one apparently in Shoreditch in the sewer back in the day. King rat. It's when all the rats
A monarchist
and they
rat.
don't know why. No, they don't know why they do this. The rats all get together and they twine their tails together, and they all twine their tails together into a knot, and then they move around as one giant rat, like a king rat.
What, like a sort of like a what's it, like a square when the soldiers all form into a square?
Yeah,
and they're all
like the
facing
turtle,
outwards.
like the turtle.
Yeah, and they're all facing outwards.
That's right, yeah. That's what a king rat is. And they don't know why it happens. And it happens where there's a massive rat population. Loads of them get together and they twine their tails together and they make this enormous king rat, which moves
Presumably
around
self-defense.
as one.
Self-defense.
Maybe so, yeah.
Oh.
And also it gives them quite a bit of power if
It's
there's
like the
food.
Labour Party. That's what they do.
Sorry?
Like the Labour Party.
Guy, what's the matter with you?
No, that is not it.
What is the matter with you?
Power
Comparing the Labour Party to a king rat. I mean, Guy, if you want to talk about any party,
listener will know what I'm
let's
talking
talk about
about.
the Tories and what they're up to at the moment. They've played a fucking blinder.
We
haven't
can't
they?
talk too much because we don't know when this is coming out. But all I know is in the run-up to Brexit.
No, well, don't talk about it then.
It is
Shut
going,
up then.
It's going quite smoothly.
It's fucking nightmare. Anyway, I blame it all on the Tories. Everything bad that's happened ever.
All right, okay. What about invading Iraq?
Blair was a Tory. Everyone knows that.
This is not worth having.
Anybody who knows anything knows that.
So, well, I'm
That
not
Tony
having-
Blair was a Tory
it's
who
not
filtrated into the system and made himself into a Labour Party person in order to destroy the Labour Party, destroy their reputation, and completely move the window to the right, so that there would never be any socialism in England again. That's what he did, Guy.
I'm just going to say because I don't want
You
that
knob
to be in
end.
the final. I've got to say something that will not make the final cut, so he can cut that out.
What?
No, it's too late now.
What do you mean?
Well, I just hope that's not in the final cut of the pod because it's
Why?
boring. You ranting left-wing shit. Okay, let's move on to something more interesting.
What are you going to talk about then, Guy? You have got 3 seconds. Make it good.
I don't know if can listeners hear that car going by with a tannoy on it. So what I'm doing tomorrow is I'm grave digging.
No, that's
I
interesting.
think that's something to do with grave digging. My friend died, and he died, Paul. You won't care about this, but he died of.
Whoa!
of,
Wheel up. Why won't I care about it?
Because he's not like a fashionable left-wing kind of white person. Sort of people you care about.
That's a disgusting slur on my
Right,
character.
Okay. Anyway,
Retract that statement.
I want to just give an
I'm cutting all
obituary.
that out. That's bad.
He was
You wanker.
he was a lovely man. His name was Bigger, and I'd like to give a little obituary now.
All right then.
He was hardworking. He was honest. He could laugh. Came from a family of 2 brothers at least, and a sister that I knew, and a father, Mas Manzi. and the whole family, not directly, but either directly or indirectly, got struck by diabetes in the most horrifying manner. And out here, where they can't afford insulin, what happens is that, and they can't really afford dialysis either, they just slowly, the extremities start to lose their blood supply, and they start going gangrenous. So they have to just keep chopping off the ends of their limbs. And his brother died, his sister died, and his sister was a lovely woman, Sepia. She used to be a nanny to my children, and she was bonny and bright and fun and sweet. And then she ended up blind with no legs. Young woman, and with really no money and very, very difficult healthcare situation. And living as dignified a manner as she could in very, very difficult circumstances. Anyway, her younger brother, bigger, died a week before last. And as his friend, I will be digging his grave tomorrow. Grave digging is, I don't know where it came from, but it's obviously really important to Jamaicans because their big fuss is made of it. They have music there. All of the person's friends who loved him come and dig his grave or her grave. I've never dug a grave before because I never felt the need. But in his case, what happened was, as he got iller, I felt the village slightly withdraw from him because I think they were scared. They're very scared of diabetes. We used to think that HIV, Paul, was going to be the thing that would run through this north coast of Jamaica, probably brought down by the tourists. But actually HIV is not really a problem here at all. It's diabetes. It's terrible. It's absolutely terrible.
Awful.
It's a plague.
Didn't you say they all lost their limbs?
Yeah.
That family?
They had a foot between about 4 of them.
Jeepers. It's not good, is it?
No, it was so sad. And people were scared of it, and they withdrew from it the way you see animals or hear of animals withdrawing. For God's sake, I withdrew from it. I wasn't as good a friend as I could be. I did go and see him, and he came round here, and I sat and I helped him as I could, but, there was a sense in their yard of contagion or of illness. Anyway, I'm going to try and put it round tomorrow by going along, digging his grave, and giving him a good send-off.
And it's a big drinking thing, isn't it?
They always get absolutely arseholed, but I don't know if it's just this village, because they like to take almost any excuse to get arseholed in this village. But they drink a lot of white rum, and they dig the hole, and then they cement it, and that's grave digging. And then they stagger around, really drunk.
Playing loud music?
Playing loud music, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And then...
Is it up on the hill that's going to happen?
No, right here, right here.
Oh, right there?
Right here, yeah. Very close. I should go over and do that. And I should be proud to do that, to honour my friend.
Mm.
Yeah.
There's not much... I've been to a couple of Anglican, funeral type things, and they're pretty tawdry affairs, aren't they?
Well, this of course isn't the funeral. They've sort of had the 9 night, which is after someone dies, they have a get together of the family, which is quite solemn and respectful.
Mm.
Then they have the grave digging, which is drunken shenanigans, and then they have the funeral, and then sometimes they have a funeral thing with food afterwards if they're rich. And the funeral is quite joyous. They take the coffin and to dance up the street with it, as if they're going somewhere really nice with the coffin. If you saw it and you didn't know what was going on, you would think something fun is happening. It's only because we associate the coffin with such solemnity that it feels a bit odd to us. But they think that it's, I guess they thought that they were released from this pretty fucking tough life.
Mm. I was going to say, because the Irish have a big party when someone dies.
Yeah.
I mean,
And they think they've gone to heaven, basically. They've gone to a better place, yeah. I don't know when it started, the idea of, actually, this is all there is, and we better make the best of it, rather than pretend there's something better afterwards.
Some people tell you, great God will come from the sky, take away everything and make everybody feel high, but if you know what life is worth, you will look for yours on earth, because now you realise you stand up for your rights. Get up, stand up, Bob Marley.
Yeah.
Pie in the sky.
Yeah, the Shakespeare of Jamaica. The man
Pie in the sky.
Yeah, the man who had the blood is a country running through his blood. I was just saying to Paul. Paul was reading my book about Jamaica the other day, and there's lots of stupid sweeping statements, like which I enjoy making. And one of them was, Bob Marley never made a bad song. The Beatles made a bad song. Stones made loads of bad songs. But I challenged him to name it, and he's not yet come up with it. And as Paul has the most meticulous, encyclopedic knowledge of all pop songs.
Not exactly. I've got a good working knowledge of
I think
pop
that
songs.
what I'm saying is I think my generalisation stands up. He didn't make a bad song, and you know, stand up for your rights. And he made so many fucking great
Get Up,
songs.
Stand Up. Pie in the Sky. That features in another song, isn't it? They tell me of a pie up in the sky, waiting for me when I die. That's the harder they come, Jimmy Cliff.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. There's definitely awareness, wasn't there, of that.
Yeah.
This is all a fucking load of promises, so they can do what they want with us while we're alive.
Yeah, yeah.
I think, you know,
Well, Paul, the only thing that amazes me about it is that they got so many people to believe it for so long, and still do.
Yeah.
Because it's just, life is absolutely unbearable if you think this is all there is. Even for me, in a way.
Do you think so, Guy?
Well, who am I to say that's unbearable? I'm so lucky, and it's so amazing to be doing this with you and have my friends and my family and all these things.
I don't know. I think life's beautiful, but I do think the world is a very harsh place for a lot of people.
It is.
And I know you always say it's a wonderful place, it's a great place, but I've seen how it can be just for some people, and it really is appalling. I mean, you know, and I know you know that.
Yeah.
I admire your optimism, though. You know, it's better to be optimistic.
Yeah, well, I am naturally hope springs eternal. As they say, most mornings I get up. Something gets me off the bed in the morning. Normally mosquito bite. No. Something gets me off the bed, and I think, right, come on, let's go to it. It's nice. Let's open up the computer, not to look at Facebook. I want to have my data cut off. I just want to have it severed off.
Yeah.
With no anesthetic.
Every data will get shut down by this fucking sunspot. It needs to do. It needs to just all be ablated, like it says in Taxi Driver.
Well, what does it say in Taxi Driver?
You know, it says like someday a real rain will come and wash all this scum off the streets, and it needs to wash all the shit away from this planet. But it's never going to happen, is it?
Yeah, it's accreting. It's increasing. Yeah.
Stuff. We've been having a reflective day today. I think it's fair to say.
Yeah. Well, actually, it's also called a hangover day.
Yeah, hangover day.
Well,
we're back on the rum now, though. You've got to do really. You can't.
Yeah. And I thought I wouldn't drink tonight, but I have to say.
We were.
Do your plunger. In the That's Paul plunging the loo.
We had to plunge the loo today. One got blocked up. There was a backlog.
Back up. Yeah.
Back up. We covered some subjects today. We even got onto suicide and all sorts of stuff like that. But I think we were all right. You know, we were on a kind of an even keel. We both agreed that that's a fucking pointless fucking state of affairs. Anyway, but I did think of one actually.
Committing herself.
My cousin.
Committing says killing herself.
My cousin. She killed herself.
Did she?
She was a ward sister back in the day when there was ward sisters, and she fell in love with a young man who was on the ward, and he had haemophilia, so he used to come in for his blood transfusions, and they fell in love, and they were kind of courting, sort of flirting at first, then courting, and then one week he came in and he said, "I've got really bad news. I've got this new disease from the blood transfusions," and he'd been given HIV through the blood transfusions.
My friend was given it through as a haemophiliac. My friend was Chris Ash, lovely man.
And anyway, he got this disease. He got HIV through the blood transfusions, and then he got iller and iller and iller because haemophilics don't have much of an immune system to begin with.
Yeah.
So he died.
Chris died very fast.
He got sick very quickly, and he very quickly started.
Would this be around 1980?
Late 80s, mid 80s, and he got to the stage very quickly where he didn't recognise her anymore, and so one day she went to work and she took a large quantity of I think it was what do they call that thing, morphine, out of the dangerous drugs cabinet, and injected herself with a fatal dose. And she left a note saying, I didn't want to be with him when he left. I wanted to be waiting for him when he arrived.
What a lovely story. What a tragic story. What a tragic story. Oh my God, Paul. I found a friend, Chris, who got it. He had hemophilia.
Hi, Narissa. How are you doing?
Anna.
Yeah.
Hi, Narissa. You good?
You're putting the lights on.
Yeah.
How was today?
Okay, so far.
Yeah. Yeah. All. And Ed found his sunglasses, so he's delighted.
Did you hear he found his sunglasses? Yeah.
Yeah.
Down the shop.
Down the shop, of course.
Yeah.
Left him in the bar. Yeah. See you, love. Bye bye.
Yeah, and he had it, and I remember none of us, it was very early days then, and I remember this, is that the ambulance or the morticians wouldn't come into his house to take his body away. And it was
Really?
a real indignity, yeah, people were so scared.
So terrified.
They didn't know.
It's all like government stuff.
Well, they didn't know, it was way before that.
Oh, was it?
It was, yeah, it was in the era, it was way before that. People didn't know how it was caught.
Was that in the UK?
Yes, it was in Gloucestershire, and he was a haemophiliac, and he must have had, when he did have AIDS.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, terrible.
He was a nice guy. He was elegant. It's funny. This is the obituary episode. You better get me off. It's a bit.
I mean, I really remember Jane fondly though. She was really lovely. She was very pretty, quite petite, and it was amazing though to go to a funeral. The family just broke down completely. They couldn't cope with it because they're all Irish Catholics. So actually killing yourself is regarded as a mortal sin by most Catholics.
Yeah.
Because it's really taking away the gift that God's given you and all this stuff.
Yeah.
So her mother was inconsolable, and everybody, my Uncle Paul tried to read the lesson and broke down crying. It was really, really hard for everybody because it completely fucking short-circuited them all. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I remember at the time thinking, fuck, it's a bit like Romeo and Juliet though.
Yeah.
And there's something so exquisite about it at the same time.
Yeah.
And it's like the years will never touch her. There was that, I think what's that one about the years?
Yeah.
We used to read it about the...
If you don't know it, Paul, I'm unlikely to. Let's be honest.
That's true. Who's that?
Good night, Vinton.
Vinton.
You here on business?
Vinton.
No, he's not here on business.
How's it going?
Huh?
You look smart. Bloody hell.
Because we just never last.
Wow, Vincent.
Jesus
Jesus
Christ.
What are you wearing, man? You look amazing.
You have a jacket on. Yeah.
Last moment funeral, one of my friend father funeral, and I didn't remember.
Right.
So I just have a slipper.
Wow.
And
Well, I tell you
jacket
what.
up. Jacket.
Scrub up.
Jacket. He's got a jacket. He's got a necklace.
Yeah.
Nice shirt.
Nice shirt,
Expensive shirt.
buttons,
Dark
mother
blue
of
shirt.
pearl,
Black trousers.
Glinting in there.
How was the funeral?
It was nice, you know.
Whereabouts was it?
Green Island.
Okay, right.
Yeah.
Okay. I look good.
Dark glasses.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, man, but I never remember. I couldn't remember.
Yeah.
My friend in front and I said, yo,
Don't worry.
Are you
Yeah,
all right?
Don't worry.
You okay?
Yeah, man, everything good, man.
Yeah.
So we're going to eat some food and chat and mingle and then we'll come back.
Yeah.
You know, I said tomorrow night is going to be, but
Yeah.
but we're good tonight.
Yeah. Cool. Thank you
Yes.
very much.
Yeah, man.
All right,
Thank
Vincent.
you.
See you later, love.
Thank you.
We are doing the death episode.
Isn't that amazing?
It's quite weird.
That's amazing.
So that was Vincent, who I think we introduced on one of the other pods, he's just like the security here. And listen to that, it's going mental out there. But he just walked in, dressed up to the nines, and he's just been to a funeral.
Yeah.
Obviously a bit drunk, I think. Came to apologise, didn't he, really, I think. Sweet Vincent.
Anyway, that's not.
It's all right. It's all good. Boss.